Hey, sports card fans, it's John, Boggs fan. Hope you're all doing well. In my last video, I went over my hobby goals for 2023. And one of those goals was to get at least 10 more cards toward my 100 cards for $100,000 list. One of the other goals was to work my way to complete the Topps playing day run of Carl Yastrzemski. Well, I am starting off 2023 with a bang. One card knocking off two of those goals that I'm working toward. So let's turn the camera around and show you what card I picked up. All right, the card that I am so excited to finally have in my collection. It's on my 100 cards for $100,000 list. It is one of the two Carl Yastrzemski cards that I am missing to complete my Topps playing day run. And it is the one card that has given me such heartburn in trying to find a good copy that meets most of my criteria. Yes, it's the 1969. Finally, the 1969 Topps Carl Yastrzemski. Various things have gone into getting this card. One, if you've been following my channel, you know that for the most part, I have been buying the card, not the grade. So I'm quite happy sometimes in picking up 4s and 5s, especially in a 69. I have a couple 69s that are in PSA 4s, and I'm very happy with them. But for Carl Yastrzemski, for his playing day run, I wanted to get higher quality cards just because it's Carl Yastrzemski, second greatest Red Sox, probably Boggs is number 3. And just so I wanted nicer copies. So I was looking at a minimum of a PSA 6. And 69s, if you've collected 69s, you know that sometimes they are extremely hard to find well centered. But in addition to wanting a minimum of a PSA 6 and finding a centered copy, this Carl Yastrzemski card, I've looked at dozens of copies on eBay. And what I noticed was that his cards tend to have a lot of common print defects, if you want to call them that. One that is prominent because this is a white bordered card. At the top here, there is typically two small blue, not really dots, sort of lines, small little lines that just got into the printing process. So a lot of the Carl Yastrzemski cards, unless you get into the 7, 8s, or 9s, typically have one or two of those blue ink marks. And again, on a white border, for me, every time I look at a Carl Yastrzemski card, I notice them. So that was one thing that I did not want to have on the card. The other thing is, around his left shoulder into his neck, there also is typically, you'll find some lighter blue ink streaks that go down from his shoulder into his neck, and it's somewhat prominent. Sometimes it's worse than others. This one I found did not have it. So there's two good things about this, in addition to the centering. Also, I've seen that around his forearm there, sometimes there's a black ink line. Not a smudge, but a defined line. This card does not have that. The last one that is, again, extremely common is that blue line right there near his hand and the end of the bat. So It wasn't a perfect copy. I probably need to spend 2 or 3 times the amount that I did on this for, say, a PSA 8 to find one that did not have any of those ink marks. But I finally found a copy that I'm very happy with. And check out this back. Just that bright sort of orangey color back to it. It's not faded. I've seen some copies where it's more tannish than that bright orange. Very clean back. I'm just so excited that I finally have a gorgeous looking 1969 Topps Car Yastrzemski. So the only one that is remaining is his 1962. And again, the 62 presents its own problems with the wood grain border around it. Again, I'd like to get a nicer copy. Now there, I'm willing to go with 5, but again, it's finding a centered 5 that's been the challenge. So we'll see how I do in picking up the last Car Yastrzemski card. But again, this is card number 31 on my list of 100 cards for $100,000. The 1969 Carl Yastrzemski. All right, as I normally do as a wrap-up of these videos here, I look back at what my initial sort of budget or estimate cost of what these cars that I've purchased would have cost me based on the price I assigned when I put the list together, which is going back now to November, I think, November 2021. And at the time, a PSA 7 was selling for around $100. Well, currently, the average VCP price for a PSA 7 is $156. So that PSA 7 copy has gone up by like $50, 50%. Since November of 2021. So I knew I wasn't going to get a 7 for $100. So I looked at where current prices are, and again, the average VCP is $156. For the copy that I got, all in shipping, tax, $165. So technically, I'm $65 over what I originally thought I would have to pay for a PSA 7, although given current conditions, I really only spent about $10 all in over the average, and I think I got a really nice eye appeal PSA 7. So in all, for the 31 cards now that I have purchased off my 100 card list, I had originally estimated that it would cost me $5,025 up to this point. So far, I've only spent $4,325, so I am still $700 to the good, even though I never really had that money set aside to begin with, so it's not like I have $700 extra dollars, but I've spent less than what I thought I would need to spend getting to this point. So, would love to know in the comments, what do you think of my 1969 Topps Car Yastrzemski card number 31 on my 100 cards for $100,000. Well, that's all I have for you. So until next time, thanks for watching.